Good morning, it's me. I'm back. I'm Stephanie Flath, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm coming to you live on March 22. It's 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and I'm here live on my Facebook business page. You can find me there every Wednesday at facebook.com/dazzledbystamping. You also can find me on my website any other time at dazzledbystamping.com. So I'm refreshing my screen here so that I can see comments. Let me know when you get on. I don't see anybody getting on yet. Sometimes I can sort of see a number popping up of people. That's not always who. Where am I here? That's not always how many are here, but it shows me that people are getting on. I'm refreshing. So sorry, I'm not chatting yet. Oh, hi, Nancy. Thank you for joining me. My computer doesn't want to wake up. All right, I'm going to get a drink while people are getting on and my computer is refreshing. Hi, Kathy. Thank you for joining me. Okay, computer's waking up. Hi, Marlene. Where am I? Am I even on my page here? I cannot tell. Oh, there we go. Hi, Dot. And Carrie. I already said hi to everybody else, I think. I'm glad that you're here. So, I have a really cool fun fold today. Thank you, Dot. I appreciate that. I didn't have as many sharing last week, and I don't want people not to share just because they keep winning. For those of you who might be watching that don't know what I'm talking about, I give away what I make. Oh, and today, I probably shouldn't have a problem with people sharing today because it includes chocolate today. So let me see here. So yeah, your chances were really good last week if you shared, because there weren't tons of people that did. So, I love for you to share my video. Hopefully it's a bright spot in your day and other people's day, and it helps my business. It helps, expand my viewership, and I like that. Thanks, Dot. I appreciate it. So anyway, I'm going to not waste any more time. It's been a couple minutes yet. So I'm going to go straight to the randomizer. I have my Post-it notes here. I have my pen here. So I'm going to go right there so I can get right to my projects. So I even already have it checked that you don't get more than one chance, or you don't get in the drawing once you've already won. That's what I have to check off. Okay, so I'm starting the drawing. Oh, I know. I totally like when it's chocolate, too. Oh, Dot, you just won. Yay. But that wasn't the chocolate. That's today, not last week. Okay. First winner is Dot. Congratulations. Pick another name. I have 2 cards to give away. And so I will start the randomizer again. And Marlene, now you're on a roll. Oh, yeah, right. Dot's my favorite. Marlene seems to be my favorite this week, because she just won, and she won last week, too. So, congratulations, girls. Yay? Why is it? Did you mean to put the question mark? I'm guessing you had just had fat fingers, but I still have to tease you. Okay. Okay, so done with the randomizer. I can close that up. Yes, congrats to you. Now you just got to share for chocolate for next week. Why is that? Oh, okay. My computer is still sleepy today. So I'm done with my randomizer, but now I can't see anything because my computer just sort of froze. All right, well, I'm just going to keep talking. Yeah, I know. I'm glad that you're happy, Dot. That makes me happy too. Okay. Oh, now I'm on a weird page. Okay. Thank you for cheering on the winners, Nancy. That's so sweet of you. Okay. So I have 2 projects for you again today. The first one is definitely more technique related. It is a fun fold, actually a treat container. And, I forgot to tell my people last night when I made it. So I saw this video. I think I first saw the project and like, I need to see how to make that. So I watched this video. It may have been in German or French. I'm not sure which. So I couldn't understand a word she was saying, but I was watching what she was doing and I couldn't. The measurements were in centimeters or something, and so I just sort of looked at what she did and figured out what I thought my measurement should be. And anyway, so Terry, you didn't win because you didn't even share last week, at least that I could tell. But I'm glad that you're here. Thanks for joining me. So the first is very technique driven. We're doing a treat container special, cutting and scoring. And so as always with my projects that I do here, I know, but I don't like it when people don't share. That doesn't make me happy. That makes me sad. That's not helping me. So, you know, I'm kind of selfish a little bit sometimes. But anyway, so the first is a technique one. The second is definitely all about the cute stamps and whatever. So both are adorable projects, and I'm excited to share them with you. Okay, so do I need to share anything? No, I'll just share as I go. I have coloring to do today too. So, okay, so I'm going to put you down. So that means I have to do my magic. I have to hit my magic wand on backwards you. And I got to put you upside down. Sorry. Okay, so in case you're wondering, I do that so that you can see my project the same way that I am, so I don't have to turn it around for you every time. Okay, so I don't know if I finished my thought. When with all my projects, I give my measurements. I'm not going to bother trying with them other than my first measurement here. I'm not going to bother trying to give you measurements as I go here. It's more, we just need to watch it, and then we'll put it on my website. Okay, so I'll have a link to my website. All right, so the first thing you need to know is this is a 6x6 piece of cardstock. And just to quicken this a little bit, I scored it on 2 inches all the way around the outside. So something I didn't mention last night to my club, another thing, is if you want to make something bigger, you just have to do the math to get your proportions right. Because it's just sort of your first size, and then your scoring, that it matters so much, and then you can sort of wing it with the rest of the stuff. Okay, so I told you I scored 2 inches all the way around. Now I am lining up the opposite corners in my scoring track here, or cutting, but we're going to score, not cut, of my paper trimmer. So I'm going to go, you can't see it, but where the score lines cross, that intersection to the corner and the opposite intersection to the corner. That's what I'm scoring right now. So I'm going to make sure I get all the way to the corner. It can go a little bit farther in if you want, but you need to make it to the corner because otherwise you don't get a good fold. So I'm scoring both of those. Oh, that went extra long. Okay, then turning 90 degrees and doing again on the other two corners. So make sure the corners are in the track of your paper trimmer. If you don't have a paper trimmer, but you have a Simply Scored scoring tool, you should be able to do the same thing. Okay, so now that I have all four corners are scored through the diagonal or through the point, now I'm going to just mark off in the center panel, the center square of each end, here and here. I'm going to mark off where the center of that square is. And you can do it one of two ways. Either I'm lined up at 3 inches here, that's half of my cardstock, or also if you can make sure that you're on the right track. Right now my score lines are at 1 inch on either side of the scoring, the track, the cutting or scoring track. So I'm just gonna notch it a little bit so I see where the center is. I want this one a little deeper so I can see it better. Okay, now before I am done with the paper trimmer, now what I'm doing is where the score lines come out on this corner, I'm cutting off from score line to score line. So basically I'm cutting that square in half diagonally. And I'm going to do that for all four corners. So I don't think I told you. So this is going to be called, or at least I'm calling it, a mini explosion box. I'm not sure that was quite far enough. I'm not sure I got the whole corner. Well, I guess that's going to be good enough. All right. So it's a mini explosion box. You probably could call it something else, but I don't want to tell you what you might want to call it, because then it will ruin the surprise. Okay. So now I have an octagon. Is that right? Octagon? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 8. So, oh, hi, Dina. I missed it when you came on. And Marlene, thanks for sharing. So now that I have the octagon and I have my spots marked, now I need to do one more thing. And when in my club, I'll just do this so maybe you can see better. I was using just my, my silicone mat, and, oh, where'd my thing go? Oh, there it is. It was see-through enough that it was being camouflaged. Okay, so I'm using a ruler, or straight edge, either way. And this center line that I have, that I marked off, I'm lining that up with this intersection right here. That is the intersection of both of the 2-inch score lines, and this diagonal goes to that same spot. So I'm making a line from the halfway mark on here. Oh, and I have to show you. So you may already have what do you call this? A stylus. But if you have a take your pick tool, you also have a stylus. You may not have even realized that it was in your package. So you just unlock this putty and paper piercing tool attachment, and I want the smaller end, and you lock in this stylus tip. So we're going to draw a line, make a score line. You may have been able to do this on your paper trimmer also, but she didn't, and this is probably just an easier way to get it lined up well. So I'm doing the same thing, both this center to both of those corner intersection things. Does that make sense? I don't know what to call it. Remember, I watched in probably French, so whatever she called it, I don't know what that was. So I'm just, showing you. Okay, so the opposite side has the same halfway mark. So I drew that to the corner intersection and the other one as well. Okay, so I should have given a template. I'm gonna show you like this. I'm not sure if you can see it. Well, you'll be able to see it better once I fold it. I should have made a template where I could show you the lines on the back, but the back is the explosion part, so we don't want that. So here's what it looks like if you can see that at all. But now you'll see better because I'm going to fold on all the lines. So taking all the main first score lines that you started and folding on those. And then these corner ones, we're going to fold in on itself. So that diagonal that we scored in gets folded on itself. All 4 of them, obviously. And one more here. Okay, so there's 2 more lines that 2 more spots, 4 lines that we folded. So now that we folded these in, we need to go back on these little ones here. I think that was how we did it. I get confused until I put it together. As long as it's scored, it will bend for you. Okay, so going back on this little right here. Okay, so can you see that? So just on these 2 sides, there's this little extra, it's not even diagonal. I mean, it's angled, but it's not right across. Like, you're not going from one corner to another. You're going from one corner to the center. That probably has a name in geometry, but I don't remember what it is. Okay, now I'm going to show you how it becomes the explosion. So these 2 squares with the extra, side squares with the extra scoring in it, we're going to pull those together, and then we're going to close this up. Sorry, my hands don't work together. And this up. And we have a cute little triangle. Can you see that? So then you go open it and you have an explosion. Okay. Yeah, no, you don't want to do tons of these. Somebody mentioned them for Terry's son is getting married. I forgot when, but she's working on invitations. They would not be good for party favors for everyone. They'd be cute, but not good. Okay, so I want to show you one more thing before I start decorating everything. So this is, here's my actual explosion part, and then this is just a wrap. So I told you that these were scored at 2 inches. So I made this, just so it was a little bit bigger, I made this 2 1/8 inches, so I actually need to, I don't know what this full measurement is. I'm going to have to figure that one out. Because I didn't even measure it that way. I just wanted it 2 1/8 inches wide, and then I just kept scoring it 2 1/8 inches more, so it was a complete square. Because I wanted it, there needs to be enough give when it folds around your triangle. So you need enough extra room, and I wanted it to be a little bit wider than the treat container. Okay, so on the outside, because you want to tuck it in, I'm going to use tear and tape this time. I haven't been messing with the liquid glue for this. But because, so I always tell you, when you're making something like a box where you're completely folding it against what it wants to do, you always want to use a stronger adhesive. So tear and tape or liquid glue and then holding it, or Seal Plus. This one you need even more so, because folding it into a triangle is a little bit even more against the grain than just folding it into a square for the box. So what I'm doing on here is I'm laying down my tear and tape on one edge of my tab here that I have, and peeling it off, and then I'm doing it again. because I want the full width of this tab to be holding on rather than just one little spot. So I'm going to close this up. There we go. So we have our wrapper for our explosion box. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to put this back together. And this gets tucked in here. Okay. So now we're going to do the decorating. So first I'm going to do inside. So I have designer paper and some cardstock. Yeah, and some cardstock. So any pieces that are going inside, I want them to be just smaller than 2 inches because remember I have my score lines at 2 inches. So this square that I'm putting right in the middle here, this is 1 7/8 of an inch. So that it fits just inside this and doesn't get bent by being folded on, okay? So these 2 panels are going to go inside also, so those are the same size, 1 7/8 inch. So if you're wanting to make something a little bit bigger than what I'm doing, keep in mind, so whatever your square, your final scored square is here, and all 9 of your panels, you want it like 1/8 of an inch smaller than what that square is, okay? So I did the same thing with my wrap, doing 1/8 of an inch larger. Okay, so I'm gonna not pull this back out one more time, and I'm gonna put my chocolate right in here. 1 fits in here. We tried fitting 2 at my club last week. It didn't work. So we're gonna pull this together, tuck it in here, and then we're going to decorate the outside. So by the way, this designer paper, it looks sort of like, well, I've used it before, but it looks sort of like the Celebration designer paper that we had, but it's not. It's Enjoy the Journey, which I had used with the Silly Goose cards when I first did the Silly Goose. So anyway, the colors are similar, and this designer paper is definitely going away because designer paper always does when a catalog retires. So it will still taste good. Yeah, yeah, even though you just get 1, it will still taste good. Okay, so now these squares, I forgot to tell you, these squares are just the 2 inches because I have the border of the 2 1/8 wrap around here, okay? So, I already did some die cutting here. This is Melon Mambo cardstock, by the way. I did some die cutting, but I wanted to remind you, in case you didn't watch last week, so I used my Mini Boss, and Stampin' Up! Gave us a tip for being able to use the Mini Boss the way that we're supposed to. First of all, this is the number 1 plate. This is thicker than I recently told you to use the lighter gray number 3 plate with it. But Stampin' Up! Stands by that they wanted something, they wanted the cutting to be tight. It's what gives you good clean cuts, especially with the more detailed dies. So what they suggested, I'm not sure if they have this on the packaging at all or not, but what they came back to us with was making an E with your sandwich. I'm not sure if you can see it. But what I mean by that is the bottom platform is long, the middle platform is short. This is the end that you're going to send in through the machine first. The bottom platform is long, the middle one is short, and the top one is long. So it looks like an E if you were to look at it. Now, you need to still remember that all of your layers, I mean, if you do an exaggerated E, this is what it would be like. It would be way, these are way long. No matter how far in or out you go, all your layers of your dies and designer paper or cardstock or whatever need to be under or between all three of these layers. They need to be within this section where all three are. Okay, so just wanted to make sure that you knew that. It makes the machine work so much better. Okay, so I'm going to take this, this small, oh, by the way, I forgot to show you. I use these layering circles dies. So there's plain circles and scallop circles. And so I use the smallest plain circle twice, both on white and Melon Mambo. And then I use not the smallest scallop one. I use the one over here. So they're graduated in two ways. So you can get closer or smaller layers or whatever. So I use this one. So I'm going to put tear and tape. Again, I'm doing two layers of it. I just want it on half of this circle. But I'm going to do 2 layers as much as I can. Okay. Now this is going to be, okay, so I have a tip for you quick if you're going to make this at all. So I'm making a little tab so I can tuck it in and be able to pull it out easily. Okay? So quick tip for you, because I thought I messed up last night, but then I didn't have anything stamped inside, so it didn't matter. Make sure that you pay attention to, if you stamp or write inside, if you do any writing or stamping inside, make sure that it's upright going like this, and upright with having the tab on the front, and then putting the words on the front. I put the words on the back last night, but then I could just twist or turn around which direction it went in there. So anyway, just a quick hint for you. Okay. Now, I just wanted a quick stamp. This is all the stamping I'm doing is just one. I'm using Simply Fabulous. I love this for you here. So I'm going to do this on this little white circle here. And I'm going to attach this to my scallop circle. I forgot to bring over my dimensionals, but I remembered seeing them last night when I was over here. Okay, so just putting 2 dimensionals on the back to put on here. There we go. And then one last, I'm going to use Milky Dots here. These are completely gone, by the way. So they obviously are not coming back in a catalog. They're just gone and no longer available. But I have so many open ones because we used them at Hostess Appreciation and I didn't have enough to just give away to everybody. And so I have all these partially used ones. So here's my project. So we have our cute little box and we can pull out our explosion. And there's a tree inside even. Now, you don't have to include chocolate. What's oh bother? That the Milky Dots are gone? But, what's but? So anyway, you can put in here whatever it is that you'd like, even if it's just a happy birthday. I love an explosion box. It makes me happy. Thank you. I'm glad that you love it. I do too. So remember, I'll put all my dimensions on my website. It takes me a while to get my video edited and then uploaded and then put it on my blog. It ends up being later in the afternoon. But I will get this on there. And then, so just a quick mention again, like if you wanted a bigger explosion box like this, if you had 12 by 12 cardstock, you could cut to 12 by 12, and you just need to cut it in, or score it in thirds. So you'd end up scoring it 4 inches all the way around, and then doing the same things that I did. If you had 12 by 12, you could start with a 9-inch, because again, you need to be able to divide it easily by 3. So you could score it 3 inches all the way around, and you could have a little bit bigger treat container. So there's that. Okay, so now, I'm glad that you love it. So now I'm going to use, I gotta find the stamp set. Oh, okay. Have about all the stamps out, but I didn't have the stamp set. Okay, so, is Jamie Sales on yet today? I made this, I'm making a card with Taco Fiesta. It's so fun. If you love tacos or celebrate Cinco de Mayo or whatever, it's just such a fun set. Definitely a coloring type of set though, if you want it to look really cute. Anyway, so I'm making this, and I made my project to fit our, we have a creative challenge on our team page right now. So, and it's her challenge that she issued, I've been having her run them, is using Bermuda Bay in your card for a card that is appropriate for, I don't know if that was the right word, appropriate for a child. I think a child, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of stamping to give you the idea of what we're doing. And then I do have some already stamped that I probably will use so I can start coloring right away. Because remember, when you use, well, first of all, we're using Memento, and I'm using Stampin' Blends. And they do, even though Memento is made for Stampin' Blend so that it doesn't bleed, by the way, if you didn't know, Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based markers. They need a special kind of ink with them. So we're using Memento, 1, because of blends, 2, because we're using photopolymer. Those are the 2 reasons why you must use Memento rather than Black StazOn. So these are alcohol-based, and the Memento does need to dry before you can start coloring. So we're going to, I'm just going to do a bunch of stamping here. Hopefully, I wonder if I should bring these are really fine images. I'm going to drop the camera down a little bit. Wait, no, that one won't drop it. Just a second. I'm sorry I'm shaking you, but I want you to be able to see better. When you got big, bold stamps, now I'm going to have a problem when I put it back up. When you have big, bold stamps, it's not so bad being a little bit far away, but these I want to close. Okay, so I have this little cactus that I did, and I'm going to do an avocado. By the way, in case you're wondering, I do have cushion underneath my stamping. That's another thing that you want when you're dealing with photopolymer. It has no cushion like, I don't have a stamper right near me that is the red rubber. The red rubber you can't see through, and it has cushion. The photopolymer you completely see through, so there can be no cushion. So there's that. Okay, so now we're going to add a little a little character to these. Hi, Lenny. So we're going to make this cactus have a mustache. He's so funny. And this one, there's like 4 different faces, I think, in this set. This one has an mouth to it. And then another one just has, this one just has a smile. I think the 4th one is a winking face. So we're going to put a sombrero on our cute little cactus guy. May have gone up a little bit too far, but we're gonna go with it. Okay, and I'm gonna put the words here because I'm right here. I'm gonna go, holy guacamole, it's your birthday. I love them. Okay, so there's them. All right, and then I'm gonna do inside because this is where I need to do the other one too. Okay, so inside, I'm going to stamp taco and the word spectacular. Makes me happy. All right, and then, so there's another thing. There's just a celebration. So did I show you this? I showed you this, right? So using Taco Fiesta. So I'm using these little candies as decoration on the bottom here. Because I did do a fun fold for this too. It's just not folding like crazy like I did on the other one. So there's I'll show you in a second. So there's the candy. And this is supposed to be a piñata. So anyway, so I have this is going to be the inside of my card, but also it's going to be the outside because I have it cut short like that on purpose. Okay. All right. One more thing that I want to stamp before I start coloring is I guess I don't need this one. There is, I don't know if you noticed, but there is a large pepper and there's a tiny pepper. And I'm going to use just the tiny pepper and sort of make a border piece on here. By the way, my colors here that I didn't tell you are, this is Sweet Sorbet that I'm using. And Bermuda Bay, obviously, that was part of the challenge that I mentioned to you earlier. And then Granny Apple Green. Oh, I didn't even show you that, but I have Granny Apple Green because that's a lot going to be about my... It's not such a cute border. I love that. Granny Apple Green is what I'm going to be using a lot for my cactus and avocado. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside because I do have these pieces already that I stamped. So they are dry and I don't have to worry about them. So I'm going to start with my cute little cactus and avocado. So I'm doing two of them differently. I'll show you how I did my first one. Hi, Marcia. Glad to see you. So, I can close this. I'm done with my ink pad. So whenever you're working with two colors, and especially if you're coloring or stamping with somebody else, keep the two colors, the light and dark that you're blending together, keep them both in your hand so that you don't lose it. Because you need, when you blend them, this is the light, by the way. At least yeah. I thought I looked at it, but then all of a sudden I'm like, did I check? Because I didn't, where was I? I clubbed last week, maybe? I'm laying down the light first, and when you want to blend, it's easier to do it. It will blend for you more easily if you do it while it's still wet. So one more thing, I'll tell you this when I get there. So I did the light and then the dark, as you can see, and then I'm just going to soften that line with the light again in the circular. Okay, now what I want to do on the other one, the other avocado, because sometimes the avocados look more like this, I'm going to do So Saffron instead of light Granny Apple Green. And I'm still going to use, I think, is this dark? Yeah. I'm still going to use the dark Granny Apple Green for this edge. I feel like this might be a more realistic look of what it looks like inside the avocado. But whatever. It's what I'm choosing to do. You can do what you want to do. So I'm just trying to soften that edge again. Where it's riper, it's greener on the outside edge. Okay. Oh, now I'm going to color my cactus. So this is light. I had to look again. Third time probably. Okay. Now I do want to do some outline on him. I don't want to do the whole thing. I don't want it to look like he's trying to be an avocado or anything like that. So I'm just gonna blend it a little bit over here. Okay. Now I feel like, I don't know if it's the So Saffron using the two together. But can you see how the color's wicking out to the edge of the avocado? I don't think that you want to put this much color down and then use Stampin' Blends on the outside. I thought I didn't do it just because the color that I wanted to use, I didn't have a Stampin' Blend that would do this. When I tried it, it wicked farther out into it. When you lay so much color down, the moisture has to go somewhere, and the moisture brings color. So just keep in mind, maybe don't do the outside with the Stampin' Blend. So what I'm doing, actually, the color that I wanted to use, and I ended up using this just because my marker wasn't good. This is Mossy Meadow. I tried it with black, and it just didn't look quite right. It seemed more like just going with a deep Mossy Meadow worked. I'm not doing too bad with talking while I'm coloring today. Maybe it's because I've colored these avocados a couple times by now. I know where I'm going. Of course, as soon as I say that, I stop talking. Okay, so I got my avocados. Now I want the center of them to be colored. So I'm going soft suede for the pit. And this time I just put down the dark, and I'm going to blend it with the light. All right, the sombrero is going to be, the top is going to be light crumb cake, and I'll do a little bit of dark on here too. Are you guys bored watching me color? These are so cute. But definitely lots of coloring. Though I did do a card. Oh, I'll have to see if I can find one. I don't have it right here. We did do a card that wasn't quite so much coloring as this, because I still have the inside to do yet. Okay, this is Sweet Sorbet. All right, so this is done, and I still need to stamp my Holy Guacamole on here. Okay. Aren't they cute? I love them. Okay, now we're going to do this. So this should be quicker. Well, other than maybe the candy. The candy was sort of... Do I have both? I have light All right, so I'm coloring the whole taco in light So Saffron. Thank you. And now I'm adding some dark just on one side. I'm softening it. All right, we're gonna go with light for the lettuce. I assume this is the lettuce. I don't like lettuce on my tacos. I don't like warm lettuce. So I don't ever put that on there. Okay, then because these are so small, I ended up wanting to go with just regular markers for these. So I'm just going to color these in really quick. It was just wanting to bleed too much with the Stampin' Blends. It was too big, getting them to be the way I wanted them to be. I guess we'll just keep this one that color too. We're going to add this, this, this. Did I get them all? All right. I know. I love tacos. But it's funny, like Todd will, so I'll make tacos for us because Todd's in the mood or whatever, and he can eat them for days, and I'm like, okay, one meal's good. I'm just good with that for now. All right, adding our sweet sorbet. Oops, that's the wrong end. Can add our, what is this? So saffron. And I think I'm just going to add, oops, that's the wrong end. I'm just going to do the ends with the Bermuda Bay. Oh, I missed the So Saffron. I forgot there's one more thing that I need to color too, but it will take less time. All right, So Saffron here. And I'm just going to go, I'm going to trace these a little bit with my sweet sorbet. So obviously you can choose whatever colors that you would like. But these sort of seem like celebration Mexican type. You know, the bright colors on the blanket or that kind of thing. Having taco pie night. Cool. That works. Okay, one last thing I need to color. So I could leave this just, actually I don't need to color it. I can show you, where's my other piece? If I can find it, I have one already colored. I can't find it. I just think it will look, I'm going to use this. Look even more cool actually coloring the peppers on my border here. I wouldn't have to color all these. I wouldn't have to even stamp all these, but I'm going to do it just because I don't want to try to think about where is it going to stop. Or where is it going to be covered, I should say. There. You never make tacos, Dina? There. cute? I just love that. So my husband we both love Mexican food. My husband loves tacos, and he used to not be able to eat them. It's an adorable set. He used to not be able to eat them, and then I started making them myself without like a seasoning packet. I just used the spices, and he has no problem. So I don't know if like there's MSG or something in there that didn't do well with, or what. Hey, this is a quick reminder. Make sure you always have something underneath when you're coloring, because it does go through. And so that also means you really can't color on your base of a white cardstock. Or you can't have a white cardstock base that you're going to color with it, because it just goes through. So this is going to go here. Oh, isn't that cute? I love that. Okay, and then we're going to put these on our Granny Apple Green. And then, you know what, I'm going to put tear and tape on the top, since I have it out. Keep having to check which one's the top. All right, and just so that I know have extra help here. Have to get recipe. Oh, all right, I'll send you the recipe. Hey, you had my tacos at Hostess Appreciation, right? Or at least the taco meat. That's my recipe. So, you know you like it if you've had it, or you know whether or not you like it, I guess I should say. All right, we're going to go like that. Ah, isn't that cute? Okay. Yeah, I get it. So, did you have any problems with my recipe, Dina? All right, I got to see if I have enough of the sweet sorbet. They're not very dark. All right, so I'm going to let you decide. We're going to go with either these sweet sorbet dots. These are, I don't know if they're going away because they're the current in colors. Or shall we do, I know, doesn't it look festive? Okay, so I'm trying to lay this down so it'll stay flat. Or shall we go with red rhinestones? I feel like either would go. I like just plain dots better, but I don't know what your question is, Dina. Did you have my tacos at Hostess Appreciation? So I like the matteness of the dots, but I like the bright color of the rhinestones. Okay, one says dots. Lisa Marie is, oh, not remembering. Okay, gotcha. All I have is one vote so far. And Marlene, don't say that you like both. Oh, where's my take your pick tool? There it is, it's hiding. All right, well, I guess Lisa Marie gets to decide it then. Okay, so I want them to be as dark as possible, so I'm going with the big ones, because those are the only, I need more here. Or does it wipe off? Does what wipe off? Dots. Does, what are you asking about? 1, 2. Oh, can't get it. 3. I don't know what you're asking. There's my card. All right, so I'm gonna I'm going to walk away for just a second and get one of the cards that I made last night. Oh, hi, Jamie. I made this with you in mind and our creative challenge in mind. Okay, so I went and got my other card. I'm going to show you one once I pick you up. So I remember I put the camera way down, so I got to undo that part a second. I don't know if this is the right spot or not. No. Okay, so I need to put you backwards again on the upside down view. And here we are. Oh, it's good height. That's good. Okay. I asked when I started working on this if you had gotten on yet. I can't remember. So here is my here is the last one that I did. I love them so much. They make me happy. Okay, so there's that. And here is, this is the card that we've been making with my clubs this month. So this is just, so these colors are some of what I just used, but no Bermuda Bay. I had to add in Bermuda Bay for, oh, gotcha. I had to add in Bermuda Bay for our team creative challenge. So this is Granny Apple Green, Sweet Sorbet, and So Saffron. And for some reason, I just wanted these blunt cut ribbons. I wanted them to be two, and I didn't want it to look like it was tied, so I didn't tie it. I didn't stamp the inside, this one. Okay, and then the first thing that I made was this cute explosion treat box. So I'll show you quick if I can get it out. So I added this tab so that I could open it, and then here is the box. Ah, too much fun today. Okay, so things to tell you. First of all, I need to reiterate, if you have any colors that you absolutely love, especially the retiring in colors, which are, sorry, I gotta look at them, make sure I have them right. Polished Pink, Fresh Freesia, Pale Papaya, Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen. If you need cardstock, if you need ink refills, if you need anything, they're going to go fast. As soon as it's announced, okay, these are retiring, they're only while supplies last, which they already are only while supplies last, I'm sure, because they're not going to buy new stuff that's retiring in a month. Make sure that you get them now. It's important. As soon as anything is announced, it's going to be quick. Two more things. I saw that, well, no, more than two more things. Okay, let's start with, I just sent out a reminder again today for my Dazzling Card Club. We're playing with the Share Milkshake stamp set bundle. So much fun. And I saw last night when I was looking up something else that the milkshake dies are on low inventory. So if you want them, I have no idea if they're carrying forward. Absolutely no idea. But if you really want them, you need to get them now. I had to place somebody's order last night for, she wanted the extra stuff. So I placed it last night so she didn't miss out. So, one, RSVP for my Dazzling Card Club. 2, get the dies, get the bundle. If you are if it's on your list, get it now, because I don't know. They've been taking a while. Like once it goes non-orderable, like it's a month or two, it seems like. It's crazy. Okay. And I just saw that there were a few things that came back that are orderable. One is, I told you about the Playing in the Rain dies. Those are back, so you can order the bundle. Another one is, I do not remember who told me, who tried to order from me, but the framed florets dies are back again. It was something that came out for around Christmas time. Anyway, they're frames. I don't know who tried to order them from me, and I'm like, oh, sorry. Okay, and then also, another one that came back was, the By the Sea, Seaside. I forgot the name of them. Just a second, I have them behind me. Seaside Bay dies. Those are back also. I'm not sure if there were other ones that people around me wanted. So those are just some things to tell you. That's all I can think of. Oh, I have my All Occasions card class on Tuesday. And you'll get a reminder tomorrow, I think. That's my plan. To sign up for that. So my All Occasions card class is something that it's sort of good for beginners, but also it's just good if you want to make a bunch of cards. So we make 6 cards, 2 each of 3 designs. And if you bring a friend, an adult friend, you each get to make a 4th design. The Dazzling Card Club has product that's included, and you get to make 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs, that I sort of gave you a sneak peek in the invitation and whatever. That's all that I can think of at the moment. I've been very Gabby. Oh yeah, I'm past an hour now. That never happens. All that coloring will do it to you. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. I had fun with you. I hope you put Taco Fiesta on your wish list. I kept seeing cards with it, and so I had to have it. I didn't get it until just recently, so hope you have fun with it too. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again next week, 10:30 a.m. Wednesday morning. Have a great week. Thanks. Bye.